We're back on STL TV Live. The Black Rep is the country's premier African-American theater company, providing platforms for acting and interpretation of theater from the African-American perspective for audiences across the nation. I'm joined by Linda Kennedy from the Black Rep, and it's always great to see you.
It's good to see you.
It's been a while since I've got a chance to interview, but it's great to see you.
Thank you.
So the 38th season has started. Pearly is right now being performed.
We opened last week. This will be the last weekend of it. This is one of the shorter runs we've had for quite some time, but it's a fabulous cast, full of energy. I'm glad I can still stand up and be with them.
Yes, we must make a note that you are in the production.
I'm in the production whenever they need an old woman.
Oh, stop.
Especially a little old lady.
Yeah. Well, for people who haven't seen it or who aren't familiar with it, I mean, tell me about
Pearly is the musical version of the book that Ozzie Davis wrote, and which was called Pearly Victorious. It's set in the 60s. A lot of people are shocked to go, you know, they realize the time frame of it because you have sharecroppers working on a plantation. But they are still treated very much like slaves because, you know, you earn a salary, but then you owe the general store, and so you never really get out of debt.
And so talk about the storyline, because we have some photos and we can pull those up as we kind of go through it.
Well, like I said, it is the musical version of that, a lot of singing, a lot of dancing. But the story is that Pearly Victorious, Judson comes back. He wants to claim the monies that belong to his family, but he needs to have other people involved in order to do that, to get it from the old captain who's holding it.
Yeah, and continue. I was just going to say, as we look at some of the photos, and that's the
Right.
church. That's church.
That's the church that he is determined to build.
And so I see with this one, and because it is musical, the dancing, and it's not just theatrics. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Because the storyline itself really does, when you sit and listen to the script and the words, it can really get kind of heavy, but the music and the characterizations keep it fun and funny, but you get your aha moments in there as well.
I noticed that, and I know Ron Himes, the founder of Black Rep, is also directing this play. I noticed when I was on your website that there was mention of that this play was pertinent with everything going on here in St. Louis from what happened in Ferguson. I was wondering if you could make that connection for me.
Part of the connection is how we come together, how, you know, some people feel it's wrong, some people feel it's right, whether or not it's the right moment. And you know, Pearly was one of those young men who were always being beaten because he didn't feel it was right the way that they were being treated, and so he rebelled against those actions, whereas you have some people who are working on the plantation with that plantation mentality and don't see anything wrong with their day-to-day. But then when you have someone who comes in and says, you know, holds up that mirror and says, look at what we're doing to ourselves, look at what they are doing to us. And so then that sort of stirs the pot and makes you take a look at that, a step back, and makes everybody wants what's right.
Absolutely. Well, we've got the information for you because this one's at Edison Theater.
It's at the Edison.
So this one's at Edison Theater, and it's running for another week. So there it is right there on your screen, now showing September 10th through the 21st at the Edison Theater. Tickets are still available, and you can go to the website to get those tickets or to find out more information for the number to call. And you can also find out more information about the other performances in the season. Speaking of which, because the 38th season, I want to talk about some of those other plays that are going to be here. How you put together a season, because you kind of hit the heavy, the lighthearted, the sexy, the family. You kind of cover everything. So we're going to have more with Linda Kennedy from the Black Rep when we return after this short break.